Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Mike Pettit with the Metro Pros of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate. Welcome to our podcast, LMAO. Let's make an offer. We got John Estabrook here with Option Mortgage. John's our lending partner, does a great job for us and our clients. Low fees, tons of options as far as lenders he works with, different loan programs, very competitive rates, great person to talk to. And then we've got Sandy Beck here from the Metro Pros, and Sandy has been on our team for a very long time, is an excellent agent, and really takes care of clients. And Sandy, let's talk a little bit about your background, how long you've been in the business, your approach to helping people.
Sure. Yeah, I got my license in 2002. I started working for an agent in 1999 and learned a lot from him, what to do, what not to do. So finally got my license in 2002 and just hit the ground running. So it's been a lot of fun.
So you're 21 years in.
Yeah.
And you're one of our top agents for sure, and always do a great job. What do you think has worked the best for you building your business and getting this repeat and referral business that you get all the time?
You know, it's just answering your phone and being there for people and keeping in touch with them. I'm lucky to say that I get a lot of referrals, and that's really helped my business. I don't have a huge social media presence, although I have had lots of help with that, so I appreciate all our help here on our team.
Well, I think Sandy's being modest because it's not just being there or answering your phone, it's how you take care of people, and you go way above and beyond and
A couple notches.
Make sure that people are, taken care of in every way. I mean, whether
Thank
it's
you.
A last minute thing that it has to be overcome, or bringing in cleaners or doing it yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
You're always there stepping in to make sure that people have a great experience, and I think that is a huge deal.
Thank you. Like the other day, I went and got mailbox keys for my clients for their new construction house, and the email was sent to them saying, here's where you go. And I said, I'll go pick these up for you. So it just everybody's busy in their lives, so things like that really help. It's the little things that you do that they remember.
Yeah, and I mean, those little things add to stress, and you're already stressed out enough moving and packing and unpacking and doing everything else. You don't have time to necessarily worry about the little details, but those are all important.
Yeah.
And so, if you've got an agent like Sandy who's going to step in and help you out, that definitely makes it a much better process.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I love what I do. And I think I probably overdo with working, but if that's what you enjoy, then why not? And my life allows me to do that because I'm not having to take care of little kids anymore, maybe grandkids, but it frees me up. So the more you have time for, the more you tend to do.
Absolutely. Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about taxes because everybody's getting their tax statements in the mail. Valuations have gone up again.
Yes.
Some significantly. I mean, mine went up almost 20% this year. Big increase. I'm hearing from a lot of people that they're seeing major increases, and then you see a lot of things out there that people are posting that is not true. Like somebody says, well, I put on a new roof, so my valuation went up $60,000. It didn't go up $60,000 because of a new roof. The chances of the assessor actually driving by your house are slim to none. Look at your picture online. That's the last time they were by your house. Mine was from like 6 years ago. It was the last time they came by my house. But every year my valuation goes up, and so they're just looking at the neighborhood values, trying to get
recent sales
in line with recent sales.
Correct.
They're not coming by your house every year. They don't have the manpower to do that. So
Exactly. And it was just today that I saw something on the Nextdoor app, and someone was complaining that my neighbor got a pool and now my value went up. And I didn't have time to go in and explain it to her, and sometimes people get angry if you're trying to tell them something that they have in their mind that is not right. But I looked at, she even sent a picture of what her valuation was, and I wanted to say, you have skated by for 4 years with a low valuation, and now you're upset that it went up $100,000, but it's still probably quite a bit less than what she could sell it for.
Well, and valuations are supposed to be what, 90%?
92 to 100% is what they're required.
And so, like my valuation going up 20% this year, you know, I was undervalued. And so, you know, instead of griping about, you know, taxes going up that much, which stinks, obviously, you know, nobody wants to pay more taxes. I have to look at it from the standpoint of I was undervalued before and actually saving quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I see.
You didn't go to the assessor's office and say, you're assessing my home too low, did you?
No, I didn't go fight to have them raise it. But a lot of times you hear people say that. I mean, they go, well, gosh, I mean, it shouldn't have gone up that much. You know, home values haven't increased that much this year. Well, no, but if you were undervalued before, they've got to try to get you in line with the rest of the area.
Exactly. In some places, they just didn't hit enough, and you were lucky to avoid that for quite a while. And you know, my nephew just bought a very beautiful house, and he got assessed within, I don't know, 6 months, almost fully assessed. But it is what it is. He still got valued at what his house is worth, or maybe a little bit less. So he didn't have that time to have it gradually go up. And that's what we're seeing with new construction is they get hit hard. But
yeah, one of the things that drives me nuts is like schools, for example. I mean, they're the biggest part of the taxes you pay from your house, or real estate taxes.
Yeah.
Schools will say, well, we only asked for a 3% increase. Well, yeah, you asked for a 3% increase, but valuations went up 15% on average. So you're getting way more than 3%, because you were at 100% of value before. 3% above that would be 103. Well, now values went up 15% more. Well, now you have this windfall. And nobody talks about that or adjusts for that. It's like valuations keep going up and up and up, and nobody's adjusting the mill levy down to account for that. And it's not just the schools, it's all taxing entities.
Yeah.
And they need to look at that, and people need to be aware of it and start fighting that and saying, well, wait a minute, you're not getting a 3% increase, you're getting an 18% increase. Because its valuations overall went up 15%, if that's the number. And I know based on what I hear, it's probably somewhere near there.
Yeah, and I saw one remark that said, what are they doing with all this extra money? And I would love to know that too. But another remark blamed the real estate agents for values going up so high. And I said to myself, because I try not to get on there and say too much, because it just causes a bunch more arguments. But it's the market that caused the prices to go up, not real estate agents. We would love to help in that way.
Yeah, we don't control the values
No.
of homes.
Demand.
Supply and demand, that's what controls it. Supply has been very low for years here in Omaha,
Yes.
and demand is very high and still growing.
Even with higher interest rates.
Yeah, even with higher rates. You know, and you think about the higher rates, and I mean, gosh, you know, 6.5%, 7% is still a good rate. I know my first house was over 7%. I mean, people back, you know, in the 80s were talking about, you know, 15 to 18% interest rates. In the last few years, we saw rates substantially lower than they should have been because of you know, the Feds buying mortgage-backed securities and artificially keeping those rates down. They got out of the business of doing that, and so now rates have gone up because there's fewer buyers for the mortgage-backed securities. So that's a whole nother subject. But you know, when it comes to taxes, so you get a tax statement in the mail. Here's your valuation. You know, what do you do at that point, Sandy?
Well, you now's the perfect time. If you really feel you have an argument between June 1st and June 30th, you can reach out to the Board of Equalization. Everything is on the Douglas or Sarpy County websites. It will tell you what to do. A lot of them are done anymore just with emails. And they did start allowing real estate agents to help find comparables for these homeowners. There was a time where we were not allowed to give a homeowner any help with this. And now they've changed that so that we can help. But chances are what we're gonna give you might not be useful. But if it is, now's the time to reach out and you send everything in. And I fought it twice for my sister's house and my son's house. And I included pictures of parts of the house that were not good. The driveway, a window that doesn't shut, you know, things like that to show, hey, this is not even, well, let me explain this really quick. In your evaluation, it says, it explains the quality of the home.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you can have everything from excellent to good to fair to poor. And so if you can get that changed and lowered a little bit, it can help with your rate or the cost, you know. Of
well, they may have you down as excellent,
right?
But the condition is actually good.
Yeah.
But they're not driving by and they haven't been inside your house.
Right.
I mean, I've owned homes for 20 some years plus,
Mm-hmm.
And I've never had an assessor come knock on the door and say, "Can I come see the inside of your home?" So they don't know the condition. I mean, they're just making blanket, statements, if you will.
It's true, but I had big blown up pictures of things that were wrong with both houses. The funny thing was it allowed me to reduce the valuation that year, and the next year it went up again. So it's something you have to continue to do. It's not gonna stay down there because values go up, they're gonna redo it again on you.
So when values go up and you wanna contest this with the Board of Equalization, what are things that people try to do that don't work? That, I know the argument is always, well, my neighbor's house, no, what is the value of your home?
Right.
Based on the condition.
Yeah.
So, what do you hear from people?
I mostly what the board wants is what are the recent sales near you that are of homes that are similar to you? And that's the trick. You can't show them a home without a finished basement when you have a finished basement. You can't show them a 2-story when you have a ranch, or a split entry when you have a ranch, even though it might still be in the same neighborhood. So
They want similar properties.
Very similar properties, and then they do allow you to send pictures. So I say take pictures of what isn't great about your house and see if it helps. It can't hurt.
Yeah, but the first thing I think when you get your valuation is maybe if you don't know the value of your home, contact Sandy.
Yes.
And talk to her and say, what is the value of my property today? A lot of people think values are dropping. Values are actually still increasing in the Omaha metro area. They're up 6% year over year, and other parts of the country are losing value. So, the increases in value are still happening here in town, and that will continue for the foreseeable future. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that because they hear, excuse me, what the media tells them. And that could be very different from what we are seeing as real estate agents and lenders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real estate is really local. You can't look at the national numbers. This year they predicted flat appreciation across the country. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but when you look at it, the Midwest is actually gaining in value. The coasts, especially California, Florida, Texas, there are places that are going to see double-digit losses in value.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's an area-by-area basis.
It is.
So.
The other thing I can suggest, and it only helps a very small number of people, but it's to check into a homestead exemption. And that really tends to be older people on a fixed Social Security income, or perhaps someone that was just lucky enough to get into a house but does not make much money, and see if they can apply for that. And that could possibly, it helps you pay your taxes, basically.
In Iowa, it's pretty common that the homestead exemption is pretty much for everyone.
Right.
From my understanding, where here you have to have a a reason to get the exemption.
In Iowa, you have to file for that extension, homestead exemption right away,
Yep.
and it gives you a little bit of a break. Here, it's a bigger break, but it's very hard to qualify for it. You can only make so much money per year. But I've seen houses with 0 taxes,
Yep.
and I've seen half, and it all depends on the income of who's living in the home.
Yeah, the key is if you're unsure of your value, get with Sandy or one of the people on the Metro Pros. And if you're unsure about the homestead exemption and how to work that and see if you qualify, again, reach out to us and let us know, and we'd be happy to help you. There's a ton more about taxes and valuations and how to work through this process, and we could talk for hours about it. But
Sure.
In a short podcast, we just want to cover some key points, and then have you reach out to us and talk more. So just stop by themetropros.com. You can drop us a note, let us know how we can help you. You can throw out ideas and suggestions for the podcast. Get in touch with Sandy or another one of the agents on the MetroPros team, and we'd be happy to help. John, thank you again for being here.
Yeah.
As always,
Thank
reach
you,
out to
John.
John Estabrook at optionmortgage.com, and you can fill out an application right there online. John will get back to you right away. And Sandy, Beck, thank you for being here.
My
and
pleasure.
talking about taxes. And hope you all enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Have a great day.